my turn. This time we are multiplying and dividing these things that are in standard form, and we want our answer to be in standard form. Unlike addition and subtraction, these are much easier because we don't need to go about putting them in ordinary form first. We can work with them as they are. So, for this first one, I've got 5 times 10 cubed times 6 times 10 to the 4. I can rewrite that as 5 times 6 times 10 cubed times 10 to the 4. There's two things I can do now. I'm going to do this part and this part separately. Then I'm going to deal with my answers. So 5 times 6 is 30 times, and remember your indice rules. So 10 to the 3 times 10 to the 4, they have the same base of 10. So I simply add the powers. 3 add 4 is 7. My answer is not yet in standard form, however, because 30 is definitely bigger than 10. So I then need to think back to my 3 times table. What is 30? 30 is 3 times 10. Remembering that times 10 to the 7. So now I need to simplify again. If you've just got times 10, that's actually 10 to the 1. So I can do it again. I've got 3 times 10, the same base, 1 add 7 is 8. This method, you will need to manipulate the question slightly, but doing that will make things much easier for you. Division now. The only difference is how I'm going to write it. Remember, division is the same as how we look at fractions. So I've got 2 over 4. I've got times 10 to the 3 and times 10 to the 3. Remembering your rules for powers, when I divide, I take away as long as the base is the same. 3 take away 3 is actually 0. 2 divided by 4 is 0.5. 10 to the 0, we know is 1. So I've got 0.5, or 0.5 times 1, which we know is 0.5. That is not in standard form. Remember, standard form dictates that the number we have needs to be 1 or larger, but less than 10. 0.5 is smaller than 1. So I need to make it bigger than 1. To do that, I need 5. What do I do to 5 to get 0.5? I divide by 10. Dividing by 10 is the same as saying times 10 to the minus 1. That minus tells us that we're actually going to be dividing, because a minus is actually a denominator. That would then be our answer in standard form. Pause the video here and have a go at the your turn questions. Your turn. So, expressing these numbers in standard form. For the first one, I've got 3, 4, 10 squared and 10 to the 6. 3 times 4 is 12, and I've got now 10 to the 8. Unlike 30, it's not as easy as it was before, but we know how to divide by 10. So I know 1.2 times 10 is actually the same as 12. So I've still got that times 10 to the 8 left over. Remember, times 10 on its own is actually times 10 to the power of 1. So now I can use my rule. I've got 1.2 times 10. 1 add 8 is 9. It had to be 1.2, not 12, because remember, standard form dictates it needs to be smaller than 10, and 12 is definitely bigger than 10. And the last question. Again, I'm going to write it as a fraction. Doing this helps us with our divisions, also helps us a little bit to visualise what we are doing. So, I've got 2 times 10 cubed over 4 times 10 squared. I'm going to deal with each part separately. I'm going to deal with this side and then this side. So 2 divided by 4 is 0.5. Remember those rules for powers. I'm going to take away 2 from 3. That's actually going to give me 10, or 10 to the power of 1. Then 0.5 is not bigger than 1, so I need to do something. Unlike before where I had to manipulate it, this time I've already got that times 10 there. So 0.5 times 10 is actually 5. 5 alone would give us what we need. Use this example to have a go at the homework question.